Welcome to the Divine Gossip Podcast. I'm your host, Mackenzie Foster, a professional psychic medium, tarot reader, and spiritual mentor, here to provide you with the next steps towards your dream reality, along with clarity and deep validation while on your spiritual journey. I have an immense passion for all things paranormal, spiritual, and of course, having some super fun chats with incredibly knowledgeable people. In each episode, we will expand our minds, ignite our inner psychics, embrace our spiritual awakening journeys, and live a super grounded, witchy life. I hope you learned something new in today's episode. Hello, and welcome back to the Divine Gossip Podcast. I am your host, Mackenzie Foster, as you hopefully heard all about that in the intro, or welcome to the Divine Gossip Podcast if you've never tuned into, watched, listened to my podcast before. Thank you for being here, whether you're new or returning. I really appreciate your presence, and I'm so excited to dive in today. Obviously, a lot has changed. It's been a little bit. I am very, very excited to, like I said, dive into all this, but just to be back doing the podcast in general. I mean, this is a huge part of my business. Like, I hate when I take breaks from the podcast, but they're always so needed, and I will forever be working on my consistency and showing up in all of that. So, I'm learning to give myself grace on that and show up when it really matters. There's a thunderstorm going on outside, so if you hear weird noises, it might be that, maybe my AC unit, who knows? But both I can't control. Anyway, I have so much to catch you up on, and this is why I'm doing this topic today, because so much of my life has changed for the absolute better. I could not be more grateful about where I'm at in my about where I'm at in my life right now. Seriously, so many of like my manifestations have came in, and I don't even like wording it like that, because it's not like, oh, I can check this off my manifestation list now. No, it's like my whole life has changed. um and I'm so excited to give you guys kind of an insight on what that has looked like and how I did that and all of that. So we'll get into it, but first of all, um yeah, I want to dive just a little bit deeper quickly into why I'm doing this topic today. Um but first of all, let me address let me address why I'm in a corner. I'm still experimenting on like what I how I want to record and film my podcast. Right now, this is the comfiest for me. I'm so tired of setting up the giant fancy camera and Rode mic. It is so annoying, and there's always a technical difficulty. I'd rather just plug in my little handheld mic and film on my phone. That is way better for me than the fancy shit. Although the audio and video quality is obviously better with that shit, I don't care. It's still just as valuable information. So here is where we're at. My goal was to actually film in my car because I love talking and yapping in my car. So maybe we'll do that next time. Maybe we'll be outside next time. I don't fucking know, but that's why I love this like portable system I got going on here, because it's so much easier for my manifesting generator ass to just like change environments when I need to continue to feel inspired. So that's why we're here. But anyway, I wanted to do this topic specifically of um, three of the main things that have helped me manifest what I have now. And I'll get into that more, what that actually means. I wanted to do that because, like I said, so much in my life has changed, and it specifically came after my birthday. My birthday, I'm filming this on July 14th. This comes out July 15th. I had a birthday, my 21st birthday, on July 8th this year. So much has changed since then. I feel lighter, happier, prettier, stronger, more centered and grounded. I feel more supported and loved. And am in my dream relationship right now. Like, I couldn't ask for a better relationship with my boyfriend. I couldn't ask for like a better like career path. I only have one more year left of college, and that has been going so smoothly. And any bumps in the road I've had, I have gone through them so smoothly, and I've found solutions so fast. Like any problem that has arisen, whether it is with school or like any like money issues or love life issues or anything like that, have just been like solved so smoothly. um and literally in like the best case scenarios ever. So yeah, like school's going really well. I am like in my one of my jobs, which I have like a million if you can't tell. I work for my mom's marketing company, and she is now training me to be eventually the CEO of that, which is like a dream come true that I'm actually in training to do that. Like, what the fuck is my life? Which I will be saying that a lot. I also have my dream business. Obviously, like I'm recording a podcast right now for my dream business and my purpose and my passion. Like literally I cannot ask for a better life and a better like path towards my future and what I'm still building. And I just want to share like how I got here. And I'll get more specific onto the things I've actually brought into my life um, through each point I have here. I have my laptop in front of me so I can look at my notes. But yeah, that's why I wanted to do that topic, is because all of that is happening, and it I feel like every birthday I have, I and maybe you can relate to this, I have some sort of like big death and rebirth, like new beginning. And I'm always very blessed in the month of July because it is my birthday month and it's just the month I thrive in. And it's summer, and this, I don't even want to credit to summer because I love the winter too. Like, I don't know, it's just, it's something in the air that's just like blessings, abundance, good luck galore. And I have very much felt that and seen that in my life. But through these three things, which is just scratching the tip of the iceberg of what I have done in my life to create this, through these three things, I have taken advantage of that energy the most. Um, there is so much I want to share about manifestation. And that's why I'm so glad to have such an easier setup for the podcast so that I can show up more and just like give you guys as much wisdom as I can, no matter if 5 people watch this or 5 million people watch this. I am so excited to just dive in. And normally I would get kind of like analysis paralysis when showing up for the podcast. Like, oh, I forgot to touch on this point in the last podcast episode, so it wasn't perfect. So I need to make sure I write out every single little thing about this topic so I make sure to cover everything. Um, and if I don't do that, then I can't show up fully. And I'm tired of letting like that overthinking brain of mine like let me show up for the podcast. And in content in general, I have this thing where it's like I have so much to talk about that I can talk about and that I want to talk about. But sometimes it's so overwhelming that I end up talking about nothing. So I have found that I just need to fucking hit record, and whatever is meant to come out will come out. And if I didn't cover something, I'll cover it in the next episode. You know what I mean? So definitely make sure you're subscribed for more, because I am just an overflowing channel of shit. Good shit. Okay. Anyway, I have also started I will get into we're kind of getting into it now, actually, the topic, because we're going to start talking about manifestation now, specifically um in regards to a listener question that got sent in. So I have now been like sending out a Google form for the Divine Gossip podcast, so that if you guys ever have questions about your personal lives or about spirituality and self-improvement and stuff like that, you can submit your response to the Google form, and I will pick one person every episode to answer the question of. So this one got sent in. I'm going to read it. So this one says, this anonymous, so whoever you are, thank you for submitting a question. It says, I feel like I keep stopping myself from manifesting things because of the careful what you wish for thoughts and worried about having it, and it wasn't what I was asking for, but technically it is. I also get held back thinking, what if I was so focused on what I wanted that I'm not as happy as I would be if I was unexpectedly getting what I needed and had a life I never imagined, you know? Okay, back up. Let's break this down. Okay, so careful what you wish for thoughts. Hmm, that's interesting. That's interesting. I feel like I could say so much about this. If you're trying to manifest something and you're like scared to manifest it because of thoughts in your head that it's like, "Oh, careful what you wish for. What if it's not actually what you wish for?" And then maybe it does come in and you're like, "Wait, this isn't exactly what I wish for, but I guess like technically it is." For real, there's so many things I could say, but I truly think a lot of this is you're getting in your own way. If you're stopping yourself from putting your like energy towards something that you want because of thoughts coming in your head being like careful what you wish for, I swear that literally sounds like your brain trying to self-sabotage you from getting what you want. That sounds like you trying to make up reasons for not getting what you want. If I had that mindset in anything that I manifested, I wouldn't have what I want right now. So I manifested the boyfriend I have now, right? If I wanted to manifest a partner and I had all these things in mind of what I want my partner to be, whether like characteristics or standards I have in a relationship or expectations I have in a relationship. If I went to go start manifesting that, whether that's through visualization or scripting or putting in the action, like going on dating apps or anything like that, or just like staying true to my boundaries, staying true to myself, however you're manifesting that, maybe it's all of that, those things, all of these tools. However you're manifesting, if I stopped myself from doing that manifestation process, from doing those manifestation practices by scaring myself into being like, be careful what you wish for, what if it's not actually what you want, then you wouldn't even like, you need to get what you're asking for in order to like, it's like trial and error. Like if you, that's like your OCD anxiety, not to diagnose because I don't know. I'm not a doctor. But like that sounds like OCD anxiety, paranoia coming in to like sabotage you getting what you want. You need to you need to trial and maybe have some error in order to like knock off what you do and bring in what you don't. I mean, what? Knock out what you don't want and bring in what you do want. You're not going to know either or otherwise if you didn't try to manifest what you want. And it's not like when I say I have the boyfriend I want, this is just an example. When I say I have the boyfriend I want now, that came from manifesting and trying to manifest it and going through a not a lot, but a few men I didn't care for that didn't serve me in the way I wanted to. So I would tell that voice to shut the fuck up. I think you shouldn't let anything stop you from manifesting, especially that little voice that's telling you to be careful. Fuck that voice. Um and if you're getting what you want, but if you're getting in the manifestation but it's technically not what you want, I mean, there's a few things with this. Are you getting clear enough on what you do want? If you're getting what you want, but it's technically not exactly it, is that a bad thing? Maybe it's just showing you something you forgot. Like maybe it's just showing you, oh, I forgot to like add that into my manifestation, but now I know. You know what I mean? That's like a very like positive way of looking at it. Um, so yeah, I mean, you said I get held back thinking. So yeah, I mean, the way to stop that is to act anyway, no matter what your thoughts are saying. Let's see if I want to say anything else. What if I was so focused on what I wanted that I'm not as happy as I would be if I was unexpectedly getting what I needed? Holy shit, that's deep. Holy shit, that's deep. You have a very, whoever submitted this, You have a very powerful mind. You think in very like philosophical, psychological ways, and you can use that to your advantage. Um, no matter what you're trying to manifest, it's always going to surprise you in some way. It's always going to surprise you in some way. If you are, so you're saying, what if I'm not as happy as I would be if I got it unexpectedly, and it's what you actually needed? No, no. I mean, you're gonna be if you are manifesting and it's not exactly what you thought you would get, but it's still going to make you happy because it's along the same lines of what you asked for. And it's not going to make you happy in the way you think, it's going to be what you need. Like the universe, there's always going to be like what you want and then what the universe thinks you need. So like you can ask for what you want, all you need, all you want, but the universe is always going to give you also what you need. So when I say I manifest the boyfriend I have now, that does not mean that he's still not teaching me lessons I need to know about myself. That does not mean he's not still teaching me and triggering me in ways that I need to be healed and shown. Like, you know what I mean? So that's not like I manifested that. You know what I mean? I didn't say, I want a boyfriend that triggers my self worth wounds. You know what I mean? Like, no, in a healthy way. Okay, we're good. But so I hope that example helps. Like, I wouldn't let those thoughts get in your way of manifesting because you can try to have as much control as you want on manifesting something, but there's always going to be an element or elements that you can't control. And that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of life. That's the beauty of trial and error and experimentation and living life and the adventure of it. I know that's a very positive outlook, but there are practical ways you can manifest with like actual ritual to make sure you are being specific and intentional as you can. So like make sure with all your past experiences and whatever you're trying to manifest, you are absorbing those lessons and listening to the lessons that they were trying to teach you. So there's one, and take them with you for the next time you try to manifest it or the next thing you try to manifest. Also, are you are you telling the universe exactly what you want, God, spirit, whatever you believe in? Are you writing it down? Are you saying it out loud? Are you setting specific things that you would like to bring into your life, and then are you staying true to those things? So if you're like, I want to lose a certain amount of body fat and gain more muscle or whatever, okay, that's great. We know the exact thing you want to manifest, but are you actually putting in the actions to do that? Or are you self sabotaging along the way? So it's like there are practical things you can do to make sure that you're bringing in a manifestation that's as accurate as possible. But I urge you to not look at it so technically. And I urge you to look at it more energetically and in a more like life is always a lesson kind of way. I hope that makes sense and I hope that helped. Thank you for submitting your question. Okay, I'm moving on to the topic now. I have notes in front of me, and I want you to take notes. I probably should have said that in the beginning, but you can take notes, you can pause when you need to. And please make sure you're always applying anything I say to your life. I'm going to be talking about my life a lot, but make sure you turn around and be like, okay, how can I make that more personal to me? Because I don't want you to just like listen to my story and, like obviously I do, but like I want you to gain value for your personal life and what you're going through too. Um, I'll be ranting a lot. I mean, there's some structure to this, but as you can see, I like to bounce around a lot. Let's begin. I low key have like no notes for this either. I have my points written down, but that's it, and I'm okay with that. So, the one point, point number one, I want to talk about when it comes to manifesting is clarity doesn't come before action, it comes from action. So, oh no, did I just peel off my sticker? No, I didn't. So, oh my god. I could talk about this forever. And low key, I talked about this when it came to the podcast too. I have been really, really, really implementing this intentionally. Oh, there's lightning behind me. Ooh. Intentionally in my life, present day. But looking back on what I've manifested, this has been huge. This has been huge. It's so important when you're manifesting a relationship, a dream career, a dream job, a dream lifestyle, a dream body, like, excuse me, whatever you are manifesting, a dream amount in your bank account, whatever that is. Obviously, in order to manifest that, because I talk about this a lot, I talk about the equation of manifesting a lot. It's intention plus action plus aligned energy equals your manifestation, right? It's energy plus action. It's there's little things in between all those things. But that's what manifestation is. So when you're talking about manifestation, you're talking about action. Action is a huge part of that. And what's been huge for me from the day I became spiritual to present day is realizing that you do not wait to take action because you're waiting for some kind of clarity on what action you should take, of how the action is going to have this outcome, what's going to happen if I go towards this, how is this going to look at the end of the day. Like, if you're waiting for clarity to take action, that's not how this works. You have to clarity comes from taking action. And if I apply this to what I've thought about in my personal life, I think about I'm going to use my relationship as an example too. I really, really, really wanted to feel true, healthy, secure, safe, gentle love in a relationship because I never felt that before, unless I only felt quote unquote love if it was chaotic, conditional, toxic, gross shit, right? So I knew that going into this new relationship, I wanted to, no matter how long it took, I wanted to be vulnerable with love. I wanted to be open and I wanted to create that kind of true love. Now, with that manifestation, the action with that is for me to do my part. It's for me to continue to heal, continue to not be in my toxic energy, continue to know my self worth and what I deserve in a relationship, continue to be vulnerable and communicate my feelings and how I'm feeling and what I need and all of those things. It means the action with the love manifestation for me was to do all those things, right? That was the action. Now, there was a point in my relationship where I was trying to manifest this big true love feeling where he's so in love with me and I'm so in love with him. I wanted that clarity of like, oh, we are in love and I see it and I feel it and like, oh my god, that's the clarity I'm like dying for and that'll give me all the validation I need and all this shit. But it's like you're forgetting the action part of it. You got to do your part too. You can't be like, "Oh, I want this clarity. I want this result. I want this vision that I see to be a reality," without taking the action that you need to take. And you can't get that vision manifested in the physical, whether that's the love situation or like the love situation or the money in the bank account or whatever that is. You can't actually physically manifest that without, or have the clarity on how to manifest that, or if you're even doing the right process without taking the action steps. So for me, taking the love example, I had to I had to communicate my feelings and my needs. He had no idea what I needed or felt without me fucking saying it. How was I going to get clarity from him if I didn't even tell him what I need or what kind of clarity I needed? So that's like a love example. for career, let's say, I see this all the time in my business of like, how am I going to sign on clients and get readings booked and all this if I am constantly overanalyzing when or how many times I should show up for the podcast, or putting all these tasks in my calendar and then procrastinating them because I'm overthinking if I'm even doing the right action steps, or how am I supposed to fucking like get like how am I supposed to grow my client base in my marketing job and get bigger paychecks if I'm waiting for the clarity on what actions will yield those results when I'm not even taking any action at all. Like, the point of this is to get the fuck out of your own way and actually do what you know needs to be done. Because if you were to sit in the same phase you're in now of, oh, I'm just like waiting on like a sign from the universe on like what I should do and like when it's coming, and I should just wait and see and kind of feel out and think about more if this is if doing this, if having that conversation, or posting that content on this day, this how many times I'm going to post a week, or I'm going to wait for you know more work from my boss to get the paychecks I want. Like all this example is like, you can take so much action in all of that, and the clarity that you're wanting to get on how to get the money in the bank, or how to have get the true love expressed to you, or how to get the dream job you want. All of that would happen if you would just start taking action. All of that would happen if you would just start taking action. And once I started to stop overthinking the content I'm posting and just started fucking posting, every single reel is going viral. Every single TikTok is getting engagement. My follower count is going up without me having to go live. My subscribers on YouTube are going up because I stopped overthinking my strategy and content plan. My paychecks in my marketing job are going up because I just started putting in fucking hours and not thought about like how I should tackle these tasks from this angle. And it's just like, just fucking do it. And my boyfriend is now safely expressing love to me, um without me overthinking like what I'm doing wrong and blah blah blah. No, I just said I love you first and he fucking caught up to it. Like, you just have to take action on what you want. That's literally what you got to do. I think that's all I'm going to say about that, but I posted that quote. Um Clarity doesn't come before action, it comes from action. Bam bam bam. And I see that as an example of what I see in my clients too, is like, I speak to so many people who want to own a spiritual business and who want to help people with their gifts, but they don't take any action to do that. They're like, I don't know what I should do, or I don't know what I should, what kind of content I should post, or what kind of offers I should have, or what kind of path I should go down. It's like, okay, well, you're not going to know unless you start experimenting. And I think that's why, although I still have to work on this sometimes, but it's it's very easy for me to recognize when I'm like overthinking versus needing to take action. Because sometimes your next step is to plan something out and not take action yet, but that's very rare. Most of the time, your next step is to take action and to stop thinking about it. Um, but maybe that's just easier for me because I'm such a life experimenter. I'm a 3-5 manifesting generator in human design. It's in my design to just do that because life is a big old adventure and I see it like that. So there's that. Point number 2 is following my dreams and passions ruthlessly, even if that meant losing people close to me. So this one is pretty harsh, I'm not gonna lie. Um, but and this depends on scenario to scenario, but I'm gonna get really real and vulnerable on everything this means to me and how this has played out in my life. So maybe you can relate to parts of my story, maybe you can't, but I want you to apply this to your life. Ever since I was a little girl, I knew I either wanted to be a YouTuber, an influencer, a content creator, a business owner, whatever. And then I got into spirituality and I was like, oh, that's my niche per se, right? My path was very clear to me. Now, whether you found this out as a little girl too, or a little person, whoever's watching this, whether you found out years and years ago what you wanted to do, or you're just finding out now, or you're still trying to figure it out, but you know that part of you wants to do something different than your parents, than your society or hello, than your environment you grew up in, whatever. You want to go and do something different, and it's going to require you to be a little bit bold and go against the grain a little bit. And that's very common in business owners and spiritual creators and influencers and um, content creators and YouTubers. Like if you're wanting to do that, um, but this can apply to like, I mean, I doubt it. I doubt other people are watching this, but whatever. You get what I'm saying. If following your dreams and passions means going against the grain and pissing people off, you gotta do it anyway. Let me give you an example. When I found out that when I put the pieces together of like, okay, I want to do all those things that I wanted to do since I was a little girl, and oh, I like tarot. I love tarot. I love reading tarot. I love helping people. I grew up being told I was going to be a therapist. Like, like it was all starting to string together. All of a sudden, I realized that, oh my God, I want to be a spiritual business owner. Very black sheep of the family esque, right? Now, both my parents are business owners, so it wasn't that part that I was more so going against the grain. It was the religious beliefs and faith part and spiritual beliefs part because I'm not religious. Um, I decided that starting my own business meant more to me than making my parents or other people around me happy. And that was a huge decision. I decided that my dreams and my passions and my overall purpose in life meant more to me than being palatable or going with the norm or making other people around me comfortable. Fuck that. I decided to say fuck that and do what makes me happy instead. And that doesn't mean that it wasn't painful. For example, when I started reading tarot and when I started um, charging money to read tarot and started the Mackenzie Collective 5 years ago, I got kicked out of my dad's house. He told me that wasn't allowed in his house, and I didn't talk to him for close to a year, that whole side of the family, because the only one who supported me was my mom in that side of the family. So I went and lived with my mom, and I did that at my mom's house, and I continued to go after my dreams, even if that meant losing a relationship with my dad. And please don't twist my words. I'm not saying you have to destroy your family. Not that I did that, but you know what I mean. You're not supposed. You don't have to destroy family relationships to follow your dreams. That's not necessary because guess what? Me and my dad have a great relationship now. What I'm saying is, if your friends are making fun of you for being a content creator, or they're outright not supporting you for any reason, even if it's like they don't like your stuff, they don't really engage with your shit, like they're obviously not supporting you, fuck them. Not to scare you, but be ready to lose them. Not everyone is going to get it, whether that is your parents like me, whether that's your siblings, your I don't know, your coworkers at your normal job aren't talking to you anymore because you started a spiritual business, like whatever that is to you. What really, really helped me build out the business of my dreams and put myself out there and see money in my bank account and incredible client transformations of people coming to me crying saying that I changed their life, and I've never felt so understood in my life, and oh my God, you helped me understand this so much better, or I manifested this because of you. Whatever, like all of this abundance and joy and fulfillment of my purpose came from me staying ruthlessly true to myself and what I want to do with my life. Even if that meant at one point not having a relationship with my father anymore. So I just want that to be a testament of, if this is important to you enough, the fear of losing fake bitches won't stop you from going after your dreams. People making fun of you losing friends, you not having your parents' approval, you, in extreme cases, going through something like I did, that still won't stop you from fulfilling your purpose. It shouldn't. So that's kind of a, excuse me, that's kind of a quicker one, I guess. I don't know how long that was, but I thought that was an important part of my story to share, because I feel like there's so much fear nowadays holding people back from manifesting what they know to be true to themselves. And they let that fear take over, and they let that fear take control of them. And it's just like, you gotta do it scared. You gotta do it crying sometimes. You gotta do it ruthlessly, right? Point number three, when I fall out of it, I get right back in it. So this one actually, this point, I'll explain what it means, obviously. But this point is a fun one because it my so I work at in part of my business is in person. So I work at the Holistic Treehouse in Chesapeake, Virginia to do readings at, and I also attend a lot of like their spiritual events because I teach witchcraft workshops there, and I do readings every Wednesday and Friday. So a lot of the times they'll have yoga classes there, and my favorite yoga instructor, Elisa Marie. Sorry, I have so much to say. I'm like bursting at the seams. Elisa Marie, she has been on the podcast before. Our episode all about yoga is on my YouTube channel if you want to go listen to her. She's a brilliant Virgo, grounded spiritual queen. I just love her. She um she said to me, sorry, I was just trying to remember, because the two yoga instructors have said this to me, and I was like, am I lying right now? Did she say this to me? Yes, she did. One time she said it to me. She said, when you fall back out of a pose, you just get right back in it. She said that to me once, and then another yoga instructor at the Holistic Treehouse, their other yoga instructor, um also says, when you get out of a pose, fall right back in it. So it came to me that quote, when you fall out, get right back in, applies to life in general, but also the manifestation process, because when it comes to time management, putting me first and coming back to my true self, holy shit. I would not have, I would not be in my dream relationship. I would not have my dream business. I would not be in my dream job with my own mother as my boss, my dream scenario, like making money in the best ways possible that I love and that fulfills me. I would not be as healthy as I am if I did not live by this quote of, if you fall out, get right back in. Because here's the thing, I did not get here by being fucking perfect. That is for sure. When it comes to time management, I'm going to break this down into like three little examples, like time management, for example, when it comes to getting back in the groove. There are so many times where I take like 3 days off of like working out or moving, and I still reach my goals. But I know when I fall out of my routines, I always get right back in. And this came from a mindset shift of like, at some point when you're on the manifestation process journey, um, you get to a point where you're like, all right, something has to change. Like, I'm just fucking tired of this. I'm fucking tired of everything being the same. I want there to be change. I want my manifestations to come in. I'm tired of being the same way or doing the same things or having the same results. Something's got to change, right? So when I hit that wall, I realized that I need to genuinely lock in. I need to genuinely work hard. I need to genuinely put the hours in. I need to, for real, get my ass up and work. Because no one works these days. No, I'm kidding. That's a funny quote. I think, who says that? Kim Kardashian? I don't know. So when I made my routines, like I have a health routine, I have a morning routine, I have a night routine, I have a work routine of like how many hours I'm getting in and what I do every day, my non-negotiables for my business, um, what I do every day for school, that time management is all mapped out. Like I'm very organized. And that's what I mean by locking in is I get clear on the actions I'm supposed to be taking that actually yield results and that are actually necessary for growth, money, love, career, health, all those areas, right? So I get clear on what my life is actually like, what my lifestyle needs to be. And that doesn't mean like I said earlier, that doesn't mean I'm perfect with that lifestyle every single fucking day, but it does mean I'm aware of it and I don't let myself fall out of it for too long, because before I hit that wall of something needs to fucking change, I would fall out of my routines for months and months and neglect my body, neglect my work, neglect my bank account, um for neglect my like worth, my self-worth, which reflected in my relationships at the time. I would have like spirals for months because I didn't take my fucking manifestation process and my dreams seriously. So anyway, now that I'm like actually, living a life I know I need to live in order to have what I want, right? Um I know that if I fall out of my, workout routine, or if I fall out of my, if I'm not being very efficient in my work hours, or I'm kind of procrastinating work, I don't let myself do that for more than like 2 days at this point. I look myself in the mirror and I'm like, yo, we're falling out of focus. We need to realign with where we're going. We're drifting away. Oh, catch yourself, go right back in. Like you need to be on your own ass. You need to be on your own ass. And this is a very good example too of boundaries and like people pleasing and not putting yourself first. So if you're like a chronic people pleaser or recovering people pleaser, or you haven't put yourself first in a really really long time, it can be really easy to like start doing that, like saying no more and like making sure you're having your alone days every week, or making sure you're staying on top of your skincare and like recharging and like really nourishing yourself. Like it can be easy to like start doing those things, or really hard, whatever, like you're doing those things and then all of a sudden you notice yourself starting to fall back into old habits. If you fall out, get right back in. So it's just about having that self-awareness to like reshift your focus when you're falling out of focus. And I also notice when I'm starting to put more energy into more people other than myself. So like I notice if my boyfriend or my mom or my best friends are having like issues in their lives, whatever that may be, I start to focus a lot of my mental energy and a lot of my like own like battery charge on them instead of like separating myself from them. So like I hope that makes sense. Like I have to really be careful about how much alone time I'm taking and that I'm taking enough alone time so that I don't like start to be codependent or like latch onto people, or like anxiously attach myself to people, or um just start to pour more of my energy into someone that I'm getting back, or that I'm giving myself. So I pay attention to when I'm like draining my own energy and when I need to pull back and recharge and like you know come right back in when I fall out. Do you know what I mean? So those are some examples of what I mean by that quote. So I want you to keep in mind with this point, with this third point, that the manifestation process is just like witchcraft. It's a craft. It's a practice. And it's not meant to be perfect. It is life. It is life itself. The manifestation process is life. You heal, you rise, you fall, you get in it, you get out of it. And this third point is literally just motivation for you to have that self-awareness and be like, okay, I notice myself falling out of, the habits I'm supposed to be doing and the habits I, um, want to implement to better my life. And I'm not going to beat myself up about it. I'm just going to shift my energy into what I know I'm supposed to be doing. And it is what it is because you're fucking human. You're fucking human. So that's that. Okay. So yeah, I'm all done. Those are the three, like, main things of like many, many other micro things that have helped me have what I wished I had, what my 3, 4, 5 years ago self wished I have now. And those things have truly, truly, truly helped me get there. And I would love your feedback on this episode. What are you creating in your life? What main struggles with manifesting and love and purpose do you have? Do you have any questions for me? Leave them in the comments below, or if you want to be featured in my podcast episodes, just like I did at the beginning, you can fill out my Google form that I will link in the description or the episode notes, wherever you're watching, wherever you're listening. And you can fill that out, and you can anonymously be featured, or you can leave your name and I can shout you out. You'll hear all of the rest of my outro stuff in the actual outro. But I want to say that, I built my business to help people and you with this kind of content, but I also put a lot of credit on the offers and services that I have in my business. So if you're wanting a one-on-one connection with me where you feel like you need some one-on-one support, I do tarot soul readings, which is psychic guidance. I do mentorship. My one-on-one program is open for enrollment. I'm taking 3 students right now, 3 people right now. I also have courses that you can learn more and expand your mind. I have my broadcast channel on Instagram for more community. I have a spiritual archetype quiz you can take. I'm going to leave all of my offers and all of my resources, free and paid, if you want to go deeper, in the description. I love you so much. Thank you for being here and for listening. And I will see you in the next episode or in the next paranormal investigation, because that comes out next week. Okay, love you. If you enjoyed today's episode, please make sure to rate and review Divine Gossip on whatever platform you listened in on. Head to themackenziecollective.com to work with me further. If you have any questions or have any topics you want me to cover or any guests you want me to have on, please email all of that to info@themackenziecollective.com or go to the episode description to fill out my Google form. I love you. Thank you for listening. See you in the next episode.